It's Monday. Welcome back, everybody, to the Crypto Report. I am Crypto Kip. That was a weird intro. Let's start over. Welcome back to the Crypto Report. Guys, Bitcoin hit 122 last night. Not too shabby. Bitcoin dominance still falling down. Somebody just called out a $30 million Bitcoin recently. We got to talk about that. Crow coins pumping, crypto's pumping, XRP lawsuits over, massive announcement from the president's crypto company today involving crypto.com. We got a lot to talk about, so do me a favor, smash a like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk crypto, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Keeping an eye out on the chat. Welcome as you come in. Feel free to say hello, throw a question in the chat, guys. We report on all the crypto news here on this channel, and we're going to keep doing that. So let me go ahead and share the screen, get into it. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Today, we are back at it. The total market cap for cryptocurrency. Actually, wait a minute. Hold up. We got to look at that. I got to look at the total market cap for cryptocurrency. I guess it's at all-time highs, huh? Man, I didn't even look at that for the day. I'm going to look at Crow here in a second, but we did a video for you on Crow. The total market cap for cryptocurrency is at its highest value that it's ever been. And last night, it was even higher. Boom. We broke $4 trillion for the first time. Oh my gosh, that is a monumental victory for the crypto industry. But are you really that surprised? You have the leader of the biggest, most prominent country on earth. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say the biggest, but the superpower that is the USA. The president of our country here is just pushing the crypto agenda with or without conflicts of interest. He's pushing the crypto agenda, and he is sending these prices higher. Last week, we had the 401ks getting included for crypto. That was something that the executive order from the president. We had the banks get a slap on their hand for debanking the crypto industry, which we don't want to see, but it was happening. Is it still happening? Well, some people say it's still happening. We're going to look at that story a little bit today as well. Shout out to the chat, by the way. How you doing, Frank? How you doing, Coin Diablo in the chat? Whoa, Scott, 2 Scotts in the chat. How we doing? But yeah, things are going well. Ethereum is just sending higher. This is the highest Ethereum has been since, since December of 2021, January of 2021. Wow. Actually, yeah, December of 2021. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. How's like Dogecoin and Pepe doing? Dogecoin not super explosive yet. Pepe was kind of bouncing, showing a little red today. I think that's temporary red. Shiba Inu not really doing too much. XRP lawsuit's over, but XRP is not breaking out yet. It did wick up to $3.33 earlier today. Probably some liquidations that happened right around 3:30. There is an opportunity for trading in these markets. I like to trade. If you guys want to do some trading, check out Blowfin, check out BitUnex in the description of this video down below. Pin in the comment section. You can check out some of the details for the sign-up bonuses that Blowfin has for you. If you guys want to check those out, continue to do your own research. But I am loving all this volatility for trading. I do think that XRP can head higher. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I just love price action. Our previous high for ETH was $5,000. I believe that if we can break through that $5,000 level, that these crypto markets could send quite a bit higher. Bitcoin dominance will fall quite a bit lower, and eventually your Pepes and your Sheebs and your Doges and your Crows could rip. I got a Crow video coming for you later today in a few hours, so stay aware for that. But this is a huge day. $4 trillion market cap for crypto is very significant. We like to see it. What are our top trending tokens for the day? Well, Bitcoin's at the head of the table right now, still showing a tremendous amount of strength. Definitely, in my mind, the number one coin because its market cap is there. Some people are talking about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on that later today. Hint, I don't think it's going to happen, but that's okay. I'm rooting for ETH, and I think ETH's going to do very well. Diablo says, Chainlink gave you a 10x return already. See, that is the beauty of crypto. We find those opportunities from the bear markets to where we're at today. Gosh, there's been a lot of opportunities. Khan in the chat, how's it going? How's it going, Frank? And WCB West in the chat. Toshi will be the next Sheeves guy. Well, I don't know about that, but I think that Toshi is, a top coin on base chain. So that's something, I hear where you're coming from. Scott also says, I was touching grass this weekend. Nice to come back to the market and see. You were touching the green grass and you came back to the green markets. How about that? We'd like that. In terms of biggest gainers for the day, you got Pump Fun having a little bit of a comeback. It had a big sell-off after its airdrop came out, but it is mounting a recovery. Actually, is Pump Fun taking highs or is it still just recovering? I think it's still just recovering. Still recovering. This thing launched. Pump Fun is where everybody on Solana was launching their meme coins. For those of you guys that don't know, it was like the #1 spot where all the big meme coins were kind of coming from. And then, they, for all the people that were streaming, I believe, on Pump Fun, which you could do like streaming. If you guys remember that little kid who like rug pulled like his friend or something, it was crazy. Double middle fingers to the camera, all that good stuff. That like 13-year-old kid. Yeah, that was Pump Fun era. There was people with toasters where they shouldn't have toasters. Like all these crazy things people were streaming. Anyway, all those people, they ended up getting an airdrop. And, when airdrops come out, people want to, realize those gains, take that money and run. So they did. But Pump Fun is a top mover today. Makes sense. Pump Fun's still a very popular platform. Lido DAO getting a little bit of a pump today. Kronos with the massive pump. There's a good reason for that. I'll give you the spoiler that the Trump Media Group just announced for their Bitcoin ETF. They amended their S1 filing, and guess who the custodian is? Maybe Crypto.com. Check out my Kronos video later today. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Uniswap's getting a little bit of a pump. Not surprised. That's the #1 DEX on Ethereum. You got Pi. This is the people's coin. Everybody can mine it for free on their phone, so I'm not surprised to see Pi pumping a little bit. Jasmy's coming back after having a little bit of not so good news. Kind of been shying away from Jasmy after some of the questionable stories I heard, but still showing pumpability. Not a lot of tremendous movers today to the upside. We do have a couple coins coming down a little bit. Nothing crazy, though. Nothing really crazy. Over the last 7 days, though, we have a lot of craziness. 60% gains, 20% gains, 15% gains are just commonplace. There's a couple losers, but not many. Not many at all. Meme Core, Monero, nothing, I'm going to write home about. Not really too into these coins, but so we're just kind of looking at the volatility in this market. In terms of altcoin season, we're still not in altcoin season, right? But if you believe altcoin season coming, well, then you position yourself where we're more in the Bitcoin season as we rally into altcoin season. If you buy the top of altcoin season, that's buying a top, right? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but buy low, sell high. If altcoins are showing, weakness, well, then maybe there's, if you believe altcoin season's coming, then they're going to be showing strength. And so if you want to get in them before they start rallying, right? Well, that would be the argument. If you believe in particular meme coins, or if you're just a Bitcoin only person, well, you know what? There's something to that as well. We're going to talk about, actually, let's just jump right into this story. This story it was wild to me. So crypto craze sweeping Washington and Wall Street. When it comes to the crypto craze, people are very excited about Bitcoin. I saw this quote from this Michael Turpin guy. He's like the first guy to buy Bitcoin in Puerto Rico. He's not from Wall Street per se. So came out with this quote back at I think the Bitcoin Vegas conference. I don't know when he got this quote, but quote being, your goal should be to own at least one Bitcoin, because by the time you retire, that could be worth 20 or 30 million dollars. One Bitcoin worth 20 or 30 million dollars. Now we have seen Michael Saylor come out with $40 million price prediction. So Michael Saylor's got the bigger price prediction. But 20 or $30 million, that's incredible. That's insane. I mean, at that point, you would be having what? Bitcoin at a $20 trillion market cap would basically be $1 million. So to get to, you need it to be at like a $400 trillion market cap or something to get to those levels. Is that possible? I mean, some people believe that it is. But I also believe there is an opportunity for altcoins. I do believe that Bitcoin will stand the test of time better than altcoins, as we've kind of seen in every single bull market and bear market. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of excitement going on right now in the crypto space, and Washington and Wall Street are going wild over it. I mean, Washington, because they're getting a lot of money from these successful crypto companies for their campaigns, and Wall Street, well, because honestly, because of the same reason, but also because there's dollar signs in their eyes in just like buying Bitcoin and Ethereum for their treasuries, which we're seeing a ton of. We had this news story as well, Yahoo Finance, couple headlines for the day. Very interesting. Positive news in the way of tariffs. NVIDIA and AMD revenue deal brings monetization of U.S. trade policy. This was one of the promises from the president that he was going to find a way to, make more money for the country with all these trade deals. One success that he had recently that's hitting headlines is NVIDIA and AMD, two massive chip makers, have agreed to give the U.S. government 15% of the money they make from selling certain chips to China. So there you go. Very interesting. So the S&P 500 at 6,400, taking new highs. Unbelievable. Circle shares are up today. Coinbase shares are up big today as well. MicroStrategy stock is up. Everything's pumping. It's an everything rally right now. August is turning out to be a very beautiful month. And historically, it's got some red, but it's average of 1% gain. We're a little bit above the average, but we are questioning. Some people are questioning. I'm questioning September, which is historically a little bit more bearish. I've got some other things to kind of look at there, but generally quite positive news going on right now. Stock steady in search for more records. We're looking for records. What a time. What a time to be alive. Not a lot of negative news today. Kind of a positive news day. On top of that, you've got a positive outlook for the future, which I would argue is probably the most bullish factor for these markets right now. The fact that we're probably going to have a rate cut, 86% chance at least, that we're going to get a 0.25% rate cut in September. Right now, they're not giving any percentage chance to a half a point, but they're giving an 86% chance to a quarter point cut come October. And then into December, you're looking at potentially coming down 0.75. Okay. We could see this thing come down 3/4 of a point, almost a full point by the end of the year. Those rate cuts, that typically leads to a rally for risk on assets. This is what we've been waiting for because the jobs data was so bad recently, which you'd think sounds bearish. It's actually bullish because it could force the Fed to cut the rates, which could drive up risk on assets, the prices of risk on assets. Crypto debanking is still occurring as banks stick to choke point policies. Well, how can they do that? Didn't the president just sign an executive order saying they can't do that no more? Well, I think he did. But it takes a while for these executive orders to kick in. These banks are just trying to do business. And here you go. Unicoin CEO says U.S. banks continue closing accounts for crypto firms under Operation Choke Point. Over recent incidents suggest the practice remains entrenched. Last week, Andreessen Horowitz partner Alex Rampo warned that big banks are squeezing fintech and crypto apps in Operation Choke Point 3.0 by hiking fees now to access account data or transfer funds from platforms like Coinbase and Robinhood. All these little tricks up their sleeve. Why would they fight it so hard? You fight your enemies, and they're fighting their enemies because it's fierce competition coming in. And look at this. There's crypto. There's the banks. They're battling. Crypto is the off-ramp to the banking system. Why would I need a bank if I could have my encrypted wallet with my Bitcoin in it? That's why they're debanking it. Even though there's an executive order out that says you can't, they're doing it anyway Bada bing. Bada boom. In other news, Benjamin Cowen calling for a market cycle top. Sorry, guys. Bull market's canceled. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. But what he is saying is something very interesting. Up in July and August, September pullback. 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 There's always been a pullback in September of the big leg up in the bull market. And guess what? We're in the big leg up of the bull market. And guess what? If we didn't see a pullback in September, that would be the first time we didn't see a pullback into September. There's a lot of trends that have occurred in the crypto space, and a lot of them kind of show us what would come next, right? And I mean, if September pullbacks are a thing, it's not like it needs to be the whole month. It could just be part of the month. But there's going to be some kind of pullback in September is what the data says, according to Benjamin Cowen. According to the data, really. He says, admittedly, there's a lot going on with this chart, but if you look at it carefully, you'll see that Bitcoin prints the same pattern each post having here, up in July and August, down in September, up into the market cycle top in Q4, and then bear market. And so basically, Ben Cowen's kind of saying, data says we've got, the end of the bull market coming in Q4 this year. So maybe my 1,070 day, what I talk about 1,070 days all the time. From the low to the high, a bull market lasts about 1,070 days. There you go. There's the low. There's the high. That's about 1,100, but let me get to the exact low. That's really close. That's really close. Hold on. Let me get better. That's the low. There's the high. Yeah. It's about 1,060, 1,070 days. Okay. And the same is true from this low to this high. Okay. That's how it goes. So far, we're almost 1,000 days into this thing. So we're coming up to the end. 1,070 days brings us to October, November, December. Can we see continued pumps in November, December? We certainly could. History has shown us that is possible, according to the months, but according to the time frame of a bull market, technically we could be coming up to the end of it by the end of the year, which means what? The best is yet to come in the crypto market. The market cycle top is where the most epic altcoin gains typically happen. And then we typically have some kind of, bear market, and we're going to keep an eye on this. Okay. We're going to continue to look at this, continue to keep you guys updated with kind of our cycle theory. But for now, I agree with this completely. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, and also kind of looking at market cycles, kind of fitting right into what's going on right now. Samson Mao says Ethereum investors are rotating their Bitcoin to pump ETH on new narratives like Ethereum treasury companies. Ethereum treasury companies are going wild. They're going to buy so much ETH. ETH is going to be crazy. You see Tom Lee come out on CNBC. Tom Lee says ETH could be on the verge of its own 120x run as regulation opens doors. Wall Street stablecoin piles in and AI coverage converges with all crypto, all on Ethereum. Also, it's the second largest blockchain. So talking about massive price predictions for Ethereum. Others are saying, well, you know what I mean? Like, oops. Meanwhile, you have others saying it. Well, I mean, Ethereum investors are rotating their Bitcoin to pump ETH, and then they're going to dump ETH to go back into Bitcoin. And that's how these bull markets always work. That's how they've always worked. And you can very much see it right here. So phase one, the Bitcoin pump, and I talked about this over the weekend, but now we're live and I wanted to discuss this with you guys again. The Bitcoin pump, we already saw that, right? And it's going to keep pumping, but altcoins are eventually going to catch up. Money flows into Ethereum, struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth, Bitcoin, and starts outperforming it. Now, phase two, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. That's happening recently. And now we start hearing talks of the flippening. This is happening right now. Just a few weeks ago, I was telling you guys, well, we're not really hearing talks about the flippening, and we're probably not going to see that again because that's stupid. Well, people are stupid sometimes, and here they are again talking about, Bitcoin getting flipped by ETH and Ethereum doing something that, you know, Bitcoin, you know, it's going to be the next Bitcoin. It's bigger. It's whatever. This fits right on to where we're at right now. Phase 2 turns into phase 3, where large caps, Crowcoin's pumping. You saw XRP pump already. I think XRP's probably got a big rally out of it. Cardano, you know, some of these big coins like that. Solana. When Solana starts pumping, that's really your sign that phase 3 is going on. When Solana starts pumping again, phase 3 is happening. Cardano, Solana, HBAR. That's phase 3. That has not come yet. But again, maybe September dip, and then the rip, maybe end of September, October, November. That's going to be our phase 3. Maybe it starts now. Phase 3 seems to be right about maybe starting in September around Fed rate cuts. After the dip, maybe, and then we start ripping, and then just full-fledged altcoin season right then thereafter. This happens really closely to each other. I believe that these are going to happen very, very closely to each other. So we're right on schedule. Like, the narratives are all fitting in. It all makes sense right now. And, you know, you've even got some other crazy things going on, like David Bailey. Nakamoto CEO David Bailey, who was also, I think, an advisor to the president regarding crypto, I believe, said, ever since getting into Bitcoin, I've always had this dream of smash buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, a single bid. Tomorrow, that dream's come true. Tomorrow, this guy is going to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, is he going to go to like crypto.com like you or me and buy $1 billion that way? I think that's what he's saying. If he does, that could send the price of Bitcoin. Maybe that could send the price of Bitcoin through this trend line that we're kind of stuck at, right at like 123, and we could start going into just massive blast off mode for Bitcoin, and Ethereum follows suit, right, with that massive purchase potentially coming. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Everybody's talking about it. At the very least, what you might see is a little bit of a short squeeze. Let's look at some of the liquidation events. By the way, you know, if you guys want to do some trading, you could sign up for Blowfin using the links in the description down below. Blowfin is where I do my trading personally, and Bit10x. Like those exchanges a lot, which is why we have them in the description of this video for you guys down below. Do your own research, guys. But if you want to sign up for some exchanges that we like, these are 2 in the description down below with some sign-up bonuses. There's some others there as well, but there's sign-up bonuses for you guys if you guys want to take advantage of those and continue to dig in. We do have some liquidations happening lately. Today, a little bit of a short squeeze. $200 million worth of shorts were squeezed out recently. A couple longs got squeezed as well. Like I said, you saw XRP kind of get squeezed out a little bit. Trying to kind of see longs. Yeah, a lot of ETH squeezes. There's a lot of volatility on ETH, guys. There's a lot of short squeezes and long squeezes on ETH. A lot today, especially right now with everybody talking about it. It's happening quite a bit. Dogecoin's up there as well when it comes to, you know, massive liquidation numbers. These are fun coins to trade, and a lot of people are trading them, guys. There you go. Yeah, $11 million for the long squeezed from XRP. So there you go. There you go. But a lot of volatility. If this $1 billion purchase does happen that that guy's talking about, you know, you might see a crazy short squeeze. Maybe see some kind of crazy short squeeze. Potentially. But, you know, we're kind of getting closer to the top when you hear people saying, you know, Bitcoin's going to $850,000 during this cycle. Maybe it does. But the higher the predictions get as we get closer to the end, the closer we are getting to the end. Does that make sense? That's my opinion on it. That's kind of the way I've always thought about it. Smash the like button, by the way. Subscribe to the channel. Let's do a little bit of Q&A. I hope everybody's doing well out there today. Shout out to Pepe in the chat. Marty in the chat. Who else we got out there? Cleary's Beef in the chat. JDM. John out there. Frying Pan Man. Ang out there. And Jay Samuels. Demo. How's it going? Says next Doge high 32 or 33 cents. Let's check out Dogecoin. Hey. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at 33 cents. Yeah, that sounds about right. Call it 33 cents. That would be the next level of resistance. But then really, 45 cents going to be some strong resistance. This is going to be just like this resistance. See how similar these charts look? Here's Ethereum. Already started to break out, and this makes total sense. And here's Dogecoin. Don't these charts look very similar? Very similar wedge. Then Dogecoin's going to get to the blue trend line. It's going to play this little game that Ethereum played, wick back down, break through it, probably. And then if Ethereum's breaking through 5,000, I wouldn't be surprised to see, Dogecoin above 46 cents and move into the previous highs. Maybe going to $1. Maybe going to $2. I don't know. Armageddon says, hey, I really enjoy your takes on the markets. What do you think about XDC? I think XDC is a great coin. I think that when XRP pumps, XDC usually pumps. Similar-ish ideas, I guess. They both kind of pump together for some reason, maybe just because there's an X in front of it. But it is an ISO 20022 compliant coin, which is important, very easily integratable into the current financial system with the standards in the industry right now. And I think that it is going to be a popular play for a while. XDC, what is the price action doing for XDC? Oh, it's actually showing a little bit of weakness right now. Well, it's kind of going like with XRP, which is kind of like slowed up right now. Pretty significant resistance at about 10 cents for it. And its high is 20 cents. Could easily kind of get through that. Kieran in the chat says if a ceasefire is what's ceasefire with what? With who? I mean, what? Ukraine? Some people are saying that XRP is immune to the bear market. I disagree. Crypto Keeper. Yeah, you were saying that, brother. I don't know. I don't understand that, brother. With the problem you're having with XDC. I heard rumors about XDC being used to trade real life currency like gold. That would be strange. I haven't heard anything about that. That seems like some internet hoopla to me. Hoopla. Blake in the chat says price prediction on Crow the cycle. Above $1. I think it gets above $1, maybe $2. That'd be great. Not financial advice. Do your own research, folks, but maybe, I don't know, above $1. You like that, Armingans? You like that? Pepe says XRP is the biggest jump. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. All insiders are selling at $5 to $6. $5 to $6 is a reasonable price to be taking profit at for XRP in my mind. I kind of agree. By the way, welcome to the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip. Do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We do live streams every single weekday on this channel. And if you enjoy that, well, then just tap the like button. It's super easy. It's not a problem. Not a problem to just tap the like button. Do it now. Just kidding. Sorry. Snapped. I felt like, Gollum reaching for the ring there. Relax the likes. I'm getting creepy. What's going on, Crypto Kip? Going off the rails. Okay. Kieran says there's a Russia-Ukraine meeting in Friday in Alaska. Okay. We'll see. That would be probably pretty bullish for markets if there was like an end of that came to an end. Eventually, it's got to end. It's been happening for years now, which is crazy to think about. No tax and no, you're talking about JDM saying no tax on cryptos. I think at some point there's a chance that happens. I'm not going to overly get excited about it. I'm excited about it, but I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing. Uncle Sam likes an extra buck. I don't even know what I'm actually. I mean, are you talking about the exchange? Coin on. Hey, Michael. Hi, guys. What means two? I don't know. It's just a silly little trend on Chronos. Our Crow fam with their silly little trends. I love it. I don't know. Some excitement, some hype, whatever. I never really looked into it. I'm pretty off X lately. I'm just trying to be a good dad. A good worker. Try to work hard. I'm trying to report real crypto news. 212 didn't make the cut. Trying to report real crypto news. Trying to be a good dad. Trying to be a good husband. Trying to be a good employee, worker. Try to sell insurance like it's nobody's business, but it's my business actually. So I'm trying to do that. So no, I'm not on X like getting in the weeds on that stuff, but I am researching the larger stories in crypto for you guys because I think it's important to get, a crypto report. And that's what we're going to keep doing. Appreciate you, Blake. Thank you. Trying to do it, brother. Smash the like if you haven't done so. And if you guys do want to support the channel, by the way, a couple ways to do it. One, become a member on this YouTube channel. You can do that in the description down below. I haven't been talking about that a lot, but you can become a member on this channel. You get access to our private Discord. And you also, there are some trade signals. Always do your own research, but we have somebody in there doing trade signals for the folks in our private Discord. And then you can also, another way to support the channel is to sign up for the affiliates in the description down below. Yeah. John 316 says nothing can escape the bear market. I mean, it's true. How's it going, James? What's up, brother? You guys ever watch the Outdoor Boys? Now that his channel's gone or done, I'm like watching a lot of Outdoor Boys. That's a random thought. What's this guy doing? Is this a crypto channel or is this a nonsense channel? Well, it's a little bit of both. Everybody likes a little nonsense now and again. Scott says, take your profits along the way for sure. I mean, eventually there will be a bear market. I think that is my strong personal opinion. Love to see the crypto markets just breaching 4 trillion recently. 10 or 20 trillion is possible in this cycle, I think. But we'll see. What is that, coin on? Your new name. I haven't seen you. What is that? Is that what is that coin? I can check it out. I could check it out for a hot second. Oh, it's somebody was talking about this. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I think I saw people showing this in the chat. Don't really like that. Rallied 240% today. Verify technology. It's an interesting concept. I don't know, man. I mean, here's the problem. There's 19 million cryptocurrencies. It's getting harder to focus on any of the new ones, and it's getting easier to focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know what I mean? Hey, Cardano and the things that have been around, My Filipino wife and I, maybe it's an interesting idea, Coin. I don't know. I have a hard time jumping into anything new. I'm also nervous because there's people out there that are like, talk about this, and then they're just trying to pump their coin or whatever, and maybe they're the project person, they got bad intentions. Not saying that's you, but I got to be careful. I want to protect my people, my audience, or my people. I want to protect them, and I care about you guys. So, it's when we do sponsored videos, like, we're very careful on who we pick as partners and how we describe those partners, and we always tell you guys when things are sponsored. There's a difference between a sponsorship and affiliate, right? But we're always transparent with that stuff. And so I'm just very careful. So forgive me for my caution, but I have it. My Filipino wife and I says, what are your thoughts of July and August? The market's up. September. What are your thoughts of July and August? The market's up September. The market's down. Then October and November, the market hits the top, and it happens every 4 years. You're in the bull run. Is that true? Okay. I think maybe there's some broken English in there. I'm not sure, but let me just clarify my belief. I think that September, there's a good chance there's a big dip in September. Big is relative. It could be 30%. It could be 10%. I don't know. It could be 5%. I don't know what it is. I can't predict the future, but I think there will be some kind of dip in September. Maybe it's a fully red month. Maybe it's just there's a portion of the month that's not going well. And October, November, especially October, should be green, I think. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to do your own research, guys. And I think November could be bullish as well. December is a coin flip. Call it a 50-50 shot. It's either the end or that just goes green too. And then by January, I think that we're in a bear market some point in January, if not definitely in January. I mean, again, I can't predict the future, but I can look at the past cycles. That's what we've done. That's what I'll continue to do. I think that the coin on crypto, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting. I just genuinely have a hard time picking up any new projects at all. I am more likely to get attracted to a new meme coin than I am a new project with actual utility, believe it or not. Believe it or not, that's the truth. Because a meme, you know, maybe it catches steam and it's funny and it catches people's attention and boom, it gets like that people rally going. Whereas this wearables thing, it's like, maybe that's really cool and all, and I didn't really do a deep dive into it. I could look at it another time. It's like, well, what? There's probably already 100 other cryptocurrencies, 1,000 other cryptocurrencies that are doing something like that. Like Steppen, you know, I mean, remember that one? So there's like competition. It's like when you think you come up with an invention, it's like, I thought I came up with an invention the other day, right? I was sitting in a pool and I was like, man, I got this great idea. What if in a pool float, I was floating in the pool. I was like, in this pool float, what if I could like move myself with like a motor, like a drone, like make my raft like a drone and I can move around already exists. Darn it. Maybe I could do it better. I don't know. But like, now somebody's going to steal it and make a better version of it. Cut me in on the deal. All right, there you go. Yeah. We're a part of it. Sure. And you stake MEXC to get merch for free by staking. Yeah, I mean, merch, you know, I mean, like, what do I care about merch? I don't know. I got merch, you know. This is my company hat. I got merch for my, you know, I got merch. You go to a conference, you get some merch. If you make enough money in altcoins, you can buy your own merch. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just, I'm picky, right? I'm picky. And then that's me. That's my opinion. I'm giving my opinion. And I love you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Coin On. Appreciate you. But I'm going to give you my real opinion. That's what we do. But it's an opinion. Everybody's got one. Some are better than others. I'm not saying mine's great. I'm just saying what mine is. That's what mine is. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Appreciate all you guys. Haven't heard about Trezor's updates. I should check that out. It's kind of interesting. I'm still bullish on crypto. Still bullish on, you know, a lot of these coins that we talk about here. And looking at September, like, hey, what's going to go on that month? Hopefully some good things, but, you know, keep an eye on this stuff, guys. We'll do it for you here at the Crypto Report. Continue to do your own research, though. We'll give you the crypto news every single day. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, DCA. Hello to my friends, of course. I'll see you in the next one. If you want to support the channel, check out the affiliates in the description down below. Pin in the comment section as well. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace, y'all. See you next time.